In the heart of a vast snow-covered forest, deep within the Siberian wilderness, a majestic white tiger named Luna lay wounded under the towering pine trees. Her once powerful limbs trembled as she struggled to keep her eyes open. A deadly encounter with poachers had left her injured, her beautiful coat tainted with streaks of blood. Beside her, her cub, a smart and courageous baby white tiger named Kai, nuzzled against her, his small frame shivering from both fear and the cold. Kai knew his mother was in grave danger. He had never ventured far from their den, but he understood that if he didn't act now, Luna might not survive. Despite his tender age, Kai possessed an intelligence and determination beyond his years. He had heard stories of humans who could be kind, who could heal wounds, and who could fight against the evil forces that harmed the forest creatures. He decided he would find such a human, no matter what it took. Chapter 2: Into the Unknown. The vast wilderness was an unforgiving place, but Kai's instincts guided him through the snow-covered terrain. The cold wind howled around him as he trudged forward, his tiny paws leaving faint imprints in the fresh snow. He dodged thick underbrush and leaped over fallen logs, his sharp ears listening for any signs of danger. 4 hours he traveled, exhaustion creeping in, but he refused to stop. Finally he picked up an unfamiliar scent, one that carried a mix of leather, firewood, and something metallic. His heart pounded with both excitement and fear. He had found the scent of a human. Chapter 3: The Encounter. Kai cautiously approached the source of the scent and soon came upon a clearing where a small wooden cabin stood. Smoke curled from its chimney, and outside, a young man was splitting firewood. He was tall and strong with a kind face, his dark hair dusted with snow. His name was Ethan, a wildlife photographer who had come to the Siberian wilderness to document the elusive white tigers. At first, Ethan did not notice the small cub peering from the trees. But as Kai hesitantly stepped forward, his bright blue eyes locking onto the human, Ethan froze in shock. A baby white tiger, alone and approaching him? He slowly lowered his axe and crouched down, extending a hand. Kai let out a small whimper, then turned, walking a few paces before looking back. Ethan realized the cub wanted him to follow. Trusting his instincts, he quickly grabbed his medical kit and rifle, not for the cub but in case danger awaited. Chapter 4: The Race Against Time. Kai led Ethan through the treacherous forest at an astonishing pace. Though small, his urgency fueled his movements, and Ethan had to push himself to keep up. The deeper they went, the more Ethan understood the dire nature of the situation. Finally, they arrived at a small clearing where Luna lay motionless, her breathing shallow. Ethan's heart ached at the sight of her. He had never been this close to a white tiger before, and now one was entrusting her life to him. Wasting no time, Ethan examined her wounds. The bullet had grazed her side, causing severe bleeding. If he acted quickly, she could survive. He pulled out his supplies, disinfecting and dressing the wound while speaking in a soothing voice. Kai watched intently, his tail flicking nervously. Chapter 5: Protecting the Forest. As Ethan worked, he heard a rustling nearby. His hand instinctively reached for his rifle. His fears were confirmed when he saw shadowy figures emerging from the trees, poachers returning to claim their prize. Ethan's jaw tightened. He knew the brutal nature of these men, and he wouldn't let them harm Luna or Kai. He swiftly positioned himself between the poachers and the tigers, raising his rifle as a warning. "Step away," he commanded, his voice steady despite his racing heart. The poachers laughed cruelly, unfazed. "You think you can stop us, boy? That tiger is worth a fortune. Move aside and we'll forget we saw you." But Ethan stood his ground. "You're not taking them. I've already alerted the authorities." It was a bluff. He had no radio signal here, but he needed to buy time. Just then a deep, rumbling growl echoed through the trees. Luna, though weak, bared her fangs, and behind Ethan, Kai hissed, his tiny form filled with defiance. The poachers hesitated. Ethan seized the moment and fired a warning shot into the air. The sound reverberated through the forest, sending birds flying. Realizing they were outnumbered and outmatched, the poachers cursed and fled. Chapter 6: The Road to Recovery. With the danger gone, Ethan returned his focus to Luna. The worst of the bleeding had stopped, but she needed proper care. Ethan decided to stay with them through the night, ensuring she remained stable. Kai curled up beside his mother, nuzzling her gently. Ethan couldn't help but smile. This cub had done the impossible. He had sought help and saved his mother. The bond between them was stronger than anything Ethan had ever seen. Over the following days, Ethan continued to treat Luna's wound. He built a temporary shelter for them and ensured they had enough food. Slowly but surely Luna regained her strength. One morning as the sun bathed the forest in golden light, Luna stood up, her majestic form fully restored. She gazed at Ethan, her eyes filled with understanding and gratitude. Kai looked at Ethan as well, then bounded over and rubbed his head against the young man's leg, a gesture of pure trust and appreciation. Chapter 7, Saying Goodbye. Ethan knew it was time for them to return to the wild. Though his heart ached at the thought of parting, he understood their place was in the wilderness, free and untamed. As Luna and Kai prepared to leave, Ethan gave Kai a final pat on the head. "Stay strong, little one. Protect your mother." With one last glance, Luna and Kai disappeared into the forest, their white coats blending seamlessly with the snow. Ethan watched until they were gone, knowing he had been part of something extraordinary. Epilogue: A legacy of kindness. Months later, Ethan continued his work in wildlife conservation. He often thought of Kai and Luna, hoping they were safe and thriving. One day, while on another expedition, he spotted a pair of white tigers in the distance. One larger, strong and regal, and the other smaller but just as fierce. Ethan smiled, knowing their story would live on, a testament to the courage of a baby tiger and the bond between humans and the wild. Moral of the story: courage and intelligence have no age, even the smallest can make the biggest difference. Compassion and kindness bridge the gap between species, proving that love and determination can overcome any obstacle.